morning and welcome to Wellbeing Wednesday. And today I'm with Paul Kinkaid, owner and founder of Selfless Leadership. And we're going to talk about chumps. And this is Paul's terminology, but I have to say I'm 100% behind him on this. So Paul, welcome. And what's a chump?
Well, lots of people can delete chump and insert whatever word they prefer. But just to keep things polite, I call them chump leaders. These people who, it may not be through any fault of their own, to be fair, leave negative traces in leadership appointments. They might have been promoted through technical competence and therefore don't have the leadership skills, and that's not their fault. Or some people who, frankly, it is their fault and they intentionally leave bad traces on people, and they just make life and work a negative experience.
Because you and I are really on the same page with this, aren't we, about mental health at work and what an important role leaders play in the mental health and well-being of their employees.
Yeah, my leadership philosophy is that great leadership comes from a position of care, and if you genuinely care about the people around you, then if you see something that's abnormal, we have this phrase, I'm ex-military, and there's a phrase in the military which is presence of the abnormal and absence of the normal. So if you see that in the workplace, the time is to go with the gut and step in and ask if someone's okay, ask twice, all those good mental health, hashtags that we're seeing around a lot. They're truisms, and if you genuinely care about your team, you'll step in and help. They'll know that you're there. And quite often, we spoke before this started, quite often that's all it needs, is that just to know that your boss is there for you, fighting for your corner, will support you, trust you. And if you say there's a challenge, then they step in and help, rather than, as we said before, ask for evidence, ask for proof, step away from the problem. It's not good enough to lead like that. It just simply isn't.
And do you think that, some people think that empathy can't be learned. Personally, I think it can. What's your thoughts? Can you teach leaders to be empathetic to their people?
You can, absolutely you can. However, the caveat is there's got to be the will to lead and the will to learn. If that foundation isn't there, then you're pushing against a pull door. It's just not going to open. So if someone wants to lead and they want to lead well, then absolutely you can open people up to it. Some people are natural empaths, others aren't, but you can care. That's all empathy is, isn't it? Is caring about those people around you. And I'm sorry to beat the drum, but that's what it is. Come back to the position of care.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes in a business as well, if you have a leader who, like you say, is there for their technical ability, not necessarily their people skills, if you can't train that person to be empathetic, I think it's key to make sure that there's somebody else of a similar rank in the organization that can fulfill that role.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we need to train everybody to lead in organizations, so that you see the natural talent emerge early and you can create a succession plan that recruits from within those talented technically and leadership capability, and promote those people. And you can have parallel lines, a technical work stream and a leadership work stream. Why not? Yeah, it might cost a little bit more money, but you'll have a happier workforce and therefore you'll be earning more money.
Absolutely. We all know that a happier workforce is a more productive workforce. Your courses, you do quite a lot on empathy, and tell me more about the other things that you cover on your leadership courses.
Well, we what I call the full spectrum of leadership. So it goes from that one-to-one, leading an individual, what each individual in your team needs from you. And those will be different things. Of course they are. We all need different things in different situations, all the way through to the highest level of strategic planning and strategic leadership, and how to come up with those plans, how to dissect and think in a contrarian manner around those plans, in order that you anticipate the problems before you ever get there, and therefore you can mitigate against them before you ever launch. So we do the full range from mental health and well-being, although there are people like you who have got significant more expertise in that area than us, so we would happily signpost. But yeah, we deliver everything from, how to delegate that first time line manager, graduate entry, all the way up to C-suite execs, from one-to-one coaching through to full workshops and programs.
Brilliant. And I think it's important to emphasize as well that it's not just about big business, is it? It's not just about corporates. As soon as you start employing people, you need to look at your leadership skills, and you need to look at your leadership team, even whether it's one person, 10 people. It's something for all different sizes of business.
I go one stage further and say, even if you're like a one-man, one-person band, you've got to lean into any relationship from a leadership perspective. Leading oneself is the first aspect of leadership. Self-awareness, that emotional intelligence, understanding how to interact with people, how to disagree, how to collaborate, how to negotiate. So I would go even one step further. You're absolutely right. But I think even a one-stop shop, a one person in an organization still needs to have the foundation of good leadership skills in order to interact well with other people and leave positive traces behind.
Absolutely. So, I mean, to finish off, Mental Health Awareness Week this week. And I think the message is, if you're a chump, get in touch with us and we'll teach you not to be a chump.
Yeah, I think if someone labels themselves as a chump, they're less likely to get in touch. But absolutely, if you're aware of a chump, signpost them to us. Why not?
Absolutely. Paul, thank you so much for your time today. And we'll catch up again soon.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.